Our planet is on fire.
Ranked climate action failure as the #1 risk with potentially the most severe impact over the next decade, such as an increase in the frequency and severity of extreme weather. In 2020, multiple cities around remains the biggest long-term threat facing humanity, with the temperature hitting an all-time high of 38 degrees Celsius in June 2020.
How you can fit with the fruitarian lifestyle, and jadi Simran sangat suka durian.
Yeah.
In this global challenges and climate change, could you describe about the sustainable diet and what is the impact of our environment, the specific impact, I guess. Maybe you can give us some example to give the deeper understanding. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo Sobat Manners, welcome to Konversi, Konten Viral Edukasi. Brace yourself to our special episode today, Bridging Diet and Sustainability. Now we have a special guest star today. She is our exchange student friends from Australia. Now we are honored to welcome Simran. Hello Simran.
Hello, it's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast.
It was interesting to have you here, and you are an exchange student from Australia, that's right?
Yes, that's right. I'm from Sydney, Australia, and I come from Western Sydney University.
Western Sydney University, that's interesting. So how long you have been in Indonesia?
So I've been here for 5 months, since August.
5 months in August, that was interesting. Okay, could you please tell our audience, our Sobat Manners, about yourself and overview experience about your life in Indonesia?
Yeah, sure. So when I first came to Indonesia, I didn't even know one word of Bahasa Indonesia. So at the start, it was very daunting and I was rather scared. I was unsure and I was always just staying in my room because I didn't know what to do or where to go. But it didn't take long for me to meet lots of friends and embrace the culture, the lifestyle, the traditions, and really feel like I've become Indonesian. I studied Bahasa Indonesia actually at UEE's Chillax Center for 1 month. And after that, I continued to practice Bahasa Indonesia, and sekarang aku bisa lancar bahasa Indonesia. So,
wow,
you know,
sekarang kamu bisa lancar ya? Jadi
Yeah.
jika aku ngomongin kamu paham?
Ya.
Jika aku bercanda kamu paham?
Ya.
Ya, oke.
Bercanda. Aku suka bercanda.
Oh, kamu suka bercanda
Aku
ya?
selalu bercanda. And
Okay.
yeah, I also have learned to go into the villages, so in the kampung, and in the kampung I've been loving to learn Bahasa Jawa as well, which has been really nice on the island of Java.
So you understand Javanese?
Yes. So whilst I'm here, I can understand people speaking Javanese. I do struggle to speak it myself, but aku sedikit mengerti. So,
Sedikit mengerti.
Yeah.
So if I talk with Javanese, do you understand?
Depends what you say.
Okay then. Okay, so today we have a special episode about bridging diet and sustainability, which the topic is very interesting and it matters for our words and our future planets. And I know you that you are fruitarians, yeah, you are have living a fruitarian lifestyle, and we are eager to learn from you. Could you please describe to us a detailed information, a detailed background about you and your journey that shaped you into and being a fruitarian?
Yeah, for sure. You know, growing up as a child, I was always a big girl. You know, I was always gemuk. Whenever I'm from a very young age, all the way growing up through high school, I was always quite large. I ate a regular diet. So I was eating meat, dairy products, semua. You know, like even setelah kenyang, masih makan. You know, I kept eating and I love to eat all the different types of foods. And, you know, I was like all the Indonesians, they always say to me like, kamu gak makan nasi? Tapi masih kenyang? Aku belum kenyang. Atau like kalau gak makan nasi, you know, I was the same. You know, if I didn't eat sort of meat and rice, I was the exact same. So my background is coming from eating all these different types of foods, going to the resto 3-4 times a week, which here in Indonesia it's common. You know, some of my friends, they go to the warung every day, but in Australia it's very rare. Most people only eat in their house because Australia is very expensive. So even me, I was always eating. It's like my hobby,
Yeah.
you know. And I come from a place where I care so much more about myself and not about the planet. I don't care, if the animals are dying, all the environmental impact, you know, my whole life. I didn't really care about those things when I'm young. And I think that's also because, you know, the culture in Australia at that time and within my family, there's 4 people in my family, they're all the same. They're all just loving to eat all the things, trying the different meats. Sometimes they would bring a live chicken, you know, to the house. And they'll say, oh, it's your pet chicken, say hello to Ayam. And then nanti I look for Ayam. Oh, where's Ayam? Ayam mati. Because they were saying, this is makan malam, you know?
Oh, yeah, I know.
So I think that it wasn't a very sustainable diet my whole life. And the thing is though, as I grew up I went to high school, in Australian high school, they teach us a lot about sustainability. And they also teach us about animal rights. So the more and more that I learned about these things, the more and more I thought, well, this is important. I should make changes in my diet because I'm so self-absorbed that I'm not even thinking about the impact that what I'm doing, what I'm putting into my mouth is having on the rest of the world. You know, and quite frankly, nobody wants to harm somebody else. You know, no one wants to harm an animal. Nobody wants to harm the environment. But unfortunately, just the way that the world is and it's been created, people's diets are harming the world and they don't even realize it. Because they are so far removed from the process. You are here in the warung eating your soto ayam, but all the way back in the process, you don't see the animal. You don't see, you know, all the trees getting cut down to make space for the animals. You don't see all the chickens in the kampung, you know, there just for the eggs, for telur. And you don't see, you know, all of the api and all of these things that happen. You cannot see the carbon emissions being released. And so I think that's a big problem. So it's really for me a process of when I was educated through school, through my own research, that's how I slowly started to care more about these things.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah, your journey, it started from you was a child and you are gemuk ya, anak yang gemuk, and you eating all things, yeah, and you really sugar. Did you really like ice cream,
you
candy?
Know, for sure. Sometimes I'd only eat dinner, makan malam this much because I want dessert this much. And I always eat, you know, chocolate.
Chocolate?
In one afternoon, I can eat the whole block.
Wow. Yeah, because we are just a child.
Yeah.
We're just a child. So, what is the specific or the very inspiring moments that can lead you to this take this lifestyle?
Yes. So, as I told you, you know, I was learning a lot about sustainability in high school. So when I was in grade 11, so I was like SMA, I decided to become a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
So this means that I just stopped eating meat.
Yeah.
And I went well with that. I did it for 2 years. I didn't eat meat. And then I was always really wanting to become vegan. But like, sebelum aku suka keju sangat. Like, I love keju. And I'm thinking, how, like, gimana gak minum susu? You know, so I'm always thinking. But then slowly I did more research and I watch YouTube videos and I get so inspired. Because when I see the healthy vegans, they're eating healthy, but they're also better people, you know, they care about the environment. And I said, like, I want to be like that kind of person. You know, I just see them, they look healthy, and you can just see that they're a good person because they don't do things that harm the environment, because they've got a sustainable diet. And so I got inspired. So then I tried veganism. So
Veganism.
setelah 2 tahun aku menjadi vegan. So then after I became vegan, which means no meat and no dairy and no animal products, so no madu, no leather from the
Yeah.
cow to make leather, so no animal products,
No milk.
no milk.
No milk.
Yeah, I felt amazing.
Yeah.
I actually had a lot of health problems. And I was trying to cure my health problems. And I was doing research that said if you're vegan, it can help you because milk is very bad sometimes for some health problems.
Yeah.
So actually, when I did it, it worked. So I was feeling better. And I also knew that not only am I feeling better, I'm losing weight and I'm healthier.
Yeah.
But I'm also having less impact on the environment.
Ah.
And I kept doing more research because I was so happy that I learned about just eating fruits, vegetables, and grains, so whole foods, not like, roti, because this is made of things.
Yeah.
Terdiri, ini.
Yeah.
But actually, just the pure things. Rice comes from the world, sayur, buah, nuts, And then I tried just eating whole foods that come from the earth, no process to make it. But then I kept learning about things like, the harms of cooking. When you cook, okay, you make the fire,
Yep.
and that can also, or you might need natural gas or electricity, and all of these things still have some impact on the environment. When they are burning the coal in the power plants and you see the amount of emissions released
Yeah.
in the big power plants, that has impact on the environment, and that comes from cooking.
Cooking.
Then I learned about raw vegan diet,
Yeah.
which means you only eat raw fruits, raw vegetables, only things which are raw, nuts, seeds. So then I tried that and I loved it. I felt so fresh because actually when you eat cooked food, it's depleted of its natural juices,
Yeah.
When you maybe get eggplant or, paprika and it's fresh, it's juicy, crunchy,
Yeah, crunchy.
refreshing, right?
Yeah, freshing.
But when you cook it and it make what gorengan and things
Yeah.
like that, it's oily and it isn't as healthy for you either. So after trying raw veganism, I was happy with it. But again, I kept learning more and more and realized that this was not the best way for me to support the environment. And I heard about fruitarianism. I never intended on going fruitarian, but after being raw vegan for so long, I just felt inspired one day. I didn't want to eat anything else but fruit. And after that day, I just ate fruit and I didn't feel like anything else. And I knew that just picking fruit off the trees and eating that is
Yeah.
the least harmful to the environment. So I stuck with it.
Wow, that's very interesting. So you have been a long process, yeah, for being a fruitarian,
Yeah.
and how you can fit with the fruitarian lifestyle, and how is your dietary daily, and what you eat in everyday life?
Yeah, so definitely at the start it was extremely difficult because before I'm so used to going to the resto with my friends, going to the
Yeah.
cafes, and yeah, usually they have fruit salad, but they put yogurt or something with it. So at the start it was very difficult and I didn't know what to do. A lot of the times we would go out for dinners and we would be eating and I wouldn't eat. I'd wait for everyone else to eat and I would go eat at home. But slowly I learned to just bring my own food, and usually now restaurants are okay if you just say I only eat fruit. Sometimes there are restaurants that have fruit options, so I order there. But I tend to eat maybe at the warung durian, for example,
Durian.
which
You
is
like
one of
durian.
the fruits that I've tried here
Yeah.
in Indonesia. Before coming here, I didn't because they don't have it in Australia.
Yeah.
So actually, I just try and go to places also like Warung Kelapa Muda. So I try and specifically go to places where there's fruits, and if not, I bring my own fruit. So I have to prepare lebih awal.
Oh.
So in terms of a typical day in my life, it's very important to start the day with fresh, juicy, high water content fruits like melons. And also when I'm in Indonesia, I have the local produce. Kelengkeng, rambutan, manggis, all of those things.
Yeah.
Then later for lunch, I might have apple, pear, pepper, manga.
Mangga.
It really depends, but I always have kelapa muda setiap hari.
Wow.
And akhir-akhir ini aku makan banyak durian.
Durian.
Yeah, so I go to warung durian for lunch sometimes.
Jadi Simran sangat suka durian.
Yeah. And then for makan malam, it's important to have something heavy, you know?
Oh,
Mau
yeah.
kenyang. So I makan alpukat, buah nangka. I have kadang-kadang pisang, banyak buah naga. Oh, I love buah naga.
Buah lagi.
I love mengkudu. A lot of people don't like mengkudu. I love mengkudu.
What is mengguru?
It's a traditional food in Indonesia. You know, a lot of time they make juice for obat.
Mengkudu.
Mengkudu,
Oh
yeah.
mengkudu you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, I know mengkudu.
Yeah. So those are the things, and I always keep with me kurma. When I'm
Kurma.
traveling, anywhere I'm going, I bring kurma because kurma lasts a long time.
Yeah.
So even if you're traveling and it keeps you full. So kurma is definitely a staple as well in my daily life.
Okay, let's start from the basic topic of our topic today. In this global challenges and climate change, could you describe about the sustainable diet and what is the impact of our environment, the specific impact, I guess. Maybe you can give us some example to give the deeper understanding.
Yeah, sure. So to me, a sustainable diet is one in which what we consume for survival will not deplete the resources on Earth for future generations. So what that means is that the way that we are eating now, it won't ruin the Earth. It won't cause any harm where when a future generation lives, they will have less to live with or their environment is ruined. So sustainable diet is one which my generation, the next one and the next one can keep on doing and still sustain the Earth to be the way that it has always been without ruining it.
Also, sustainable diet, dietary choices, it also related with ethics, yeah.
Yes.
And we also think about the future planets, and not just for our health, but is the bonus, yeah. The bonus for us is we can become healthier person, yeah.
Exactly right.
Okay.
It's definitely a focus on ethics and the environment. And the best thing is you realize that the most sustainable diets actually have the best health impact for us.
Yeah.
Because that's the way that the world was naturally made, to help us become healthy, happy humans. And we just need to realize that we should go back to how things are made for us. The fruit came on the trees already, you know?
Yeah.
The nasi is already in the south. The beras.
It's make our life easier, yeah.
Exactly, pasti.
Okay. In your journey, have you encountered surprising benefits in sustainable diets that you didn't expect it before?
Yeah, I did not expect that when I would be doing all these things for the environment, like you mentioned, that I'd have so many personal benefits.
Yeah, personal benefits.
You know, just the way that I feel more aware of my impact every day. I always, when I'm in the pasar, I bring my own containers because I don't want them to keep giving me new plastic.
Yep.
So I choose to go to the pasar because I know that there it came langsung from pohon to pasar. And that's the thing, I know that it didn't have so much. When you go to the supermarket, it might have been imported and things like that. Again, more carbon emissions. So I've just become aware in my day-to-day life of my environmental impact because it all stems from my diet choices. And I also think it's just, sometimes I eat, yes, because that's what's making me healthy. But then again, vice versa. I know that whatever I want to eat is still better than if I chose to eat a regular diet of like ayam, susu, keju. So yeah, it's quite surprising.
Okay, Simran, sustainable diet, dietary choices, being a vegetarian, veganism, fruitarianism, there is a lot of misconception and misunderstanding about this. What is the most misconception that you found and how you overcame it?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people who are vegan or vegetarian, I think they think their diets are quite sustainable. But I believe that if you purchase things like tofu, things like this, they're vegan, but at the end of the day, they are still made in a factory. They still come with plastic. And to me, any sort of food that requires cooking, preparation, plastic use is not sustainable. At the end of the day, the world did not come with plastic on the tree. And the more plastic that's used, it's harming the environment. So to me, I think it's a big misconception when vegans and other people think that their diets are sustainable. They're not. I honestly think that unless you are only eating foods that come naturally from the earth, and I'm not saying that everyone needs to be fruitarian, but unless you are eating constantly like vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, fruits, everything that's naturally coming from the earth, that doesn't require any cooking, preparation, putting it together, then your diet is not sustainable, because it will still have some impact on future generations, and to be a sustainable diet, it can have that. So I think it's a big misconception about what is sustainable. I think there's a lot less that actually is sustainable than most people think. They think, oh, you know, no meat, that's sustainable. No, you have to try so much harder.
So much harder, yeah, to give positive impact to our environment.
Exactly.
We should think about our future, our next generation, not about ourselves and the delicious of foods, because you know there is a words that say that you are what you eat. Yeah, our mindset is about what our eat too. Yeah. And the next question is, are there any global trends in dietary choices that particularly promising direct positive impact for environment?
I think, yes, there are some promising trends. There is a big shift, especially in Western countries, towards vegetarianism, veganism. There is huge knowledge being spread around now about the impacts of our diet, because like you mentioned, this topic is really relevant in today, you know, bridging diet, sustainability, because it's trending, it's on social media where everyone's scrolling through, people are becoming more aware. So I think the trend of awareness is great. It's the first step. And then from there, actually moving towards veganism, because you can't just really go from eating meat to fruitarian. It's a big journey. So the fact that people are starting the journey and they're trending towards that, I think that's really promising, because it tells me that soon, slowly, people are going to head towards more sustainable diets in the future.
So what we can do is to start to understand about the importance of sustainable diet, the impact of the environment, and also start and living the process, enjoy the process until we can feel the benefit of this diet.
Exactly, and the global trend towards making little changes. You know, whilst it may not be the best to just be vegetarian and still have susu keju and things like that, it's still better than eating meat. And that's the important thing. We should never judge anyone for their diet. We should just try to encourage them to know the benefits and to want to have less impact on the world. So I encourage anyone, even if you just stop eating meat and you eat, you know, just vegetables and still eat keju, that's fine. Or if you want to go vegan, whatever it is, I encourage any impact progress.
Progress, especially that really connected with our health.
Exactly.
Exactly. We should aware about our foods and what we eat every day. As we wrap about our conversation today, what are the key takeaways that you would our students, our Sobat Manners remember about sustainable diet? And could you please tell us about some over and easy to implement tips and tricks to the students that in just beginning exploring about sustainable diet, sustainable eating, that will give them an initial progress and transition toward this eco-friendly diet, Simran?
For sure. One of my main tips is to really not think of transitioning towards a sustainable diet as something that you don't want to do. You should realize that it's something you do want to do. A lot of people, especially in Indonesia, when I speak to them about this, they keep thinking, oh, gak bisa makan ayam. And they think that it's a bad thing, but actually, you need to realize that fruits and vegetables and all these things are so delicious. You know, I mean, I feel so lucky that I can spend every day eating fruits. It's so amazing. So one is to realize that actually eating a sustainable diet is fun. And it's tasty still, and it will fill you up. When you eat the right fruits, you will become kenyang, pasti. They all have this idea that you won't, you will. The other thing is to realize the health benefits for you. Not only is having a sustainable diet doing good for the environment, for the planet, having a sustainable diet will make you healthier. You will have a longer lifespan. You will enjoy the benefits of being kuat and feeling fresh and not being capek. You know, you don't need to istirahat all the time. So it has health benefits for you. And the other thing is to start small. If you don't eat many fruits now, start by implementing more fruits in your diet. Just take small steps. Like I said, I was vegetarian for 2 years before I even went vegan. It was a slow process. But the important thing, the last thing that I want to say is just start with a small step. After watching today's podcast, make one change. Instead of eating meat 3 times a day, maybe 2. And have a goal. You know, after 3 months, this is where I want to be. So set yourself a goal and slowly work towards it. If you make a mistake, it's okay. We're all humans, we're all learning, and we're all just trying to do our best. So try and do your best for the environment. Just try. And if it's hard for you, that's okay, because it's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So just enjoy the process and feel good about having a better impact on the environment.
Okay, thank you so much. So this is the end of our conversation today, guys. So that's a wrap of our episode today. Huge thank for our guest star Simran, and a little reminder for Sobat Manners. If you like and enjoy our podcast, could you please to hit the button, subscribe button, and follow us in Prodi Management UI to more podcasts about this, and also stay with us in Konversi. Okay, thank you so much again for Simran for being with us. And remember guys, you are what you eat. Every breather and every choices, it's matter. Stay green, stay healthy, and always keep making positive impact. Thank you so much everyone. Bye bye, see you.